you have to do is get bit dead, and it has been quiet from the tip of the spear. He'll fall down into A. The depths of Team Spirit.
The Blast Spring Final 2024 has come to a close, and with it, the first season of CS2. Now, some rosters fell short. Others exceeded expectations. Not only did Na'Vi prove that Copenhagen was not a fluke, but Spirit added yet another piece of silverware to their collection. That's right, Donk is back.
Out a bit.
Yo, that is sick. Okay, so for those who didn't see, this past weekend, the Blast Spring Final 2024 ended with Spirit hoisting their first trophy since their insane run in Katowice back in February. Suffice it to say, this was a huge exoneration for Spirit. Their win in Kato was surprising, to be sure, but it was also quite literally record-breaking. Their 17-year-old shit-talking superstar Donk put up the highest rating of any player at any event ever and was very, let's say, vocal about his dominance. The problem was what happened after Kato. Spirit were so insanely hyped coming out of that event that suddenly, out of nowhere, everyone had them as favorites to win the Copenhagen Major. Understandably, this might have given the team some nerves. Despite going undefeated in groups, they lost to FaZe Clan in the first round of the playoffs, the team they dummied a few weeks earlier. And while no one suddenly thought that they were like washed or anything, it did raise some questions as to whether Spirit's complete, unmatched dominance in Katowice was sort of a flash in the pan. The stats that Donk put up during Spirit's top 4 finish at IEM Dallas were, by his standards, not especially stellar, and everyone was wondering whether he might be gradually becoming human again. Spoiler, he wasn't. All through Blast, this kid went absolutely ham, but in the finals, he went nuclear. Great operas like Shiro, I feel like they are missing shots that they would otherwise have always hit and go, and Donk just absolutely saves the round with this double. He's 37 HP with an A1S. He gets this headshot on Cat, swings, gets this headshot middle, bomb down mid, right? And the round is just suddenly completely saved. It's just completely over. Look at these frags. Please look at these frags. Gets the first, gets the second, and then watch this doors kill. What is that? What is that shot? These rounds where he just gets these multi-kills with just the absolute craziest fucking look, and that second one being a headshot on JL is just like, that hurts, bro. That hurts if you're JL. And let's just say that his confidence was back in full force.
Individual 1v1s as well.
Watch this. After the 2K. Personally, I'm not really a fan of like this level of trash talking. I know most people are. It's fine. It's just not for me personally. I really appreciate the sort of like Zywoo grade, like humility approach to being the GOAT. But there is no doubt, there is just no doubt that in terms of raw skill, Donk is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Especially when you consider that he's a rifler. You'll notice that the only players to keep up with Donk at this event were Oppers, and world-class Oppers at that. The fact that Donk was able to not only keep up with these Oppers, but in most cases exceed them, is stupendously impressive. This is a feat that was basically only really achieved historically by Nico. So the question is, how? Like, why? Like, why is this kid just so insane? How does he do it? Well, for starters, like Nico, he's just insane. I mean, he has ridiculous aim, incredible mechanics. But I do think that the game helps. The op is clearly not as strong as it was in Global Offensive, and Donk is capitalizing on that immensely. Peeker's advantage is still very prominent in CS2, and you can see how Donk uses it to his advantage quite regularly. The thing you can see in how Donk plays is the way he peeks. It's like he's always moving. It's like he's always jittering a little. Watch this peek, watch the way he peeks into Garage and just eviscerates him. Watch the way he's not just pre-firing. It's this constant sort of strafing, this constant movement. Now, to be clear, that is not at all to take away from how naturally gifted Donk is. On the contrary, I think that he, as a rifler, is probably exploiting subtick to the best of any player in the world right now. He seems to understand how to play on it. Also, as Launders aptly reminded everyone, shout out to Shiro. It was a huge gamble to remove himself from Cloud9 to join Spirit, but man, is he reaping the rewards. So yeah, for the first time ever, Spirit are the #1 ranked roster in the world. Hats off to them. Let's see if they can keep it. As for their opponents, we need to talk about Na'Vi. Guys, ever since they won the major, Na'Vi was a fluke. It was a fluke. They won the major! The whole thing about winning the major is that you never need to win anything else. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking fluke. Stop calling it a fluke. They won the fucking major. They have the little fucking pin on their profile. It's done, my dude. But for the second time this year, Na'Vi proved everyone wrong. Or at least almost. I would consider making the final of the season a great way to silence the haters, even if they didn't win it. They played extremely well, and Wonderful put up what had to be the sickest clutch of the event with the best caster call to boot. What an insane clutch, bro. This is vintage, like 2018 simple grade. What is that? What is that?
Welcome to Wonderland!
What a fucking call, bro. If there were any lingering doubts about Wonderful's ability to fill Simple's role on the op, surely that silenced them. Na'Vi may not have won the event, but they exited the season with their heads held high, which isn't the case for everyone. G2 have already benched Nexa after going 0-2 in the group stage, and Liquid, who were not actually at this event, parted ways with Cadian after months of not at all stellar results. It's clear that a lot of rosters are shaky right now. CS2 as a game isn't fully settled, and neither is the pro scene. But that's not a bad thing. Between Spirit, Na'Vi, FaZe, Vitality, G2, Mouse, VP, and even Astralis, this might actually be one of the most competitive seasons ever. CS2 is truly anyone's game right now, and I can't wait to see what things look like after the player break. See you then. My AK doesn't do that. Like, no one's AK does that, bro. I swear to God. It's just insane. Like, and I know he's just hitting shots. Like, I know these highlights are literally just him hitting shots, but this is just what this kid does. It's impossible.